Hi everyone, and welcome to the fourth session in BOMA's Online Marketing Made Easy webinar series. For anyone who's missed our previous sessions, we've been working our way through the steps needed to construct a robust marketing platform for your practice or firm. So far, we've covered briefly an introduction to marketing, then we looked at how to create a brand for your practice, and then last week we looked at how to build an effective website. And you can find all these recordings on our BOMA Marketing YouTube channel. My name is Charles Clark and I look after the marketing here at BOMA. And this week I'm very pleased to welcome Harvey Kane with me today. Harvey's a senior developer and SEO expert at RocketSpark. And RocketSpark are website experts who won Xero's 2015 Add-on Innovation Award for their website builder app. So I'm really thrilled to have you with us, Harvey.
Yeah, thanks. It's great to be here. Cheers.
Now, as you all know, we like to keep these really short and snappy, so I'll hand over to Harvey now, and you can take us away, Harvey.
Great, sounds awesome. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming along. My background is as a web developer, but prior to that I was doing a lot of SEO consulting, and we'd turn up with small businesses and just have a look at what they were doing and suggest some basic things that they could do to improve their search engine visibility. So that's what I want to go through today, just 5 quick tips that you can apply to your website yourself. You don't need to bring in a consultant. It's all logical, common sense, and good quality things to be doing for all websites. So the first thing to understand is what Google is trying to do. Google is a search engine. They don't really care about you as a business owner. They're more interested in giving the people that come and use their service, so people searching for something, they would like to give them good results. So Google is interested in promoting the best quality content that's relevant to what people are searching for. So if you can keep that in mind as you're building everything that you do, when you design something, is it going to improve the experience for the visitor? Not, is it going to make me appear to be better than I actually am in the search results? It's all about giving better results for the customer that's coming into your website. So keep that at the back of your mind throughout everything that you do. So where I like to start is with the phrases that people are searching for. So people come in, they go to Google, they decide what phrase they want based on what they're looking for, they type it in, and they find some websites. So this is not a random thing, that people do actually have a bit of a science behind what phrases they're typing in. And search engine optimization is really all about designing your content so that it gets ranked well for the phrases that people are actually searching for. So when somebody goes up and they're looking for an accountant to do their books for them, they might type in accountant, or they might type in accountant and the name of the town or city that they're based in, or they might be looking for a specialist type of accountant, like a tax accountant or a small business accountant. So these are all search phrases, and it's really great to spend a little bit of time just deciding on what phrases you're going to be targeting based on what people are actually searching for. So we'll talk about that one a little bit. The second thing is location-based searching techniques. So once again, people in this industry, they're always searching for a town or a city. You can't just rock up to Google and type in accountant and expect good results, because you'll get accountants from Wisconsin, accountants from London, and maybe some accountants from the local town that you're based in. So yeah, location-based searching, there's a few good things we can show you with that. Number 3, having plenty of good quality content. So Google is a big machine that processes lots and lots of text. And in order for your website to be found, you do actually have to have text on your website. It can't just magically assume to know what your website is about and whether it's relevant for certain search queries or not. So what you really want to be aiming for is a nice, decent, text-heavy page that is presentable to a user as well as a search engine. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Number 4 is ranking for your own business name. This is usually automatic for most people. You just go to Google and ta-da, you're ranking automatically for your own name. It's not always the case, and you should just spend a couple of moments just checking that you are ranking well for your own name and somebody's not hijacking it and taking it over. This can particularly be an issue if your name is the name which is also popular. So let's say you've got a name which is Henderson Accountants because your last name is Henderson, but there's also a suburb called Henderson, and maybe there's a whole lot of accountants in the suburb of Henderson, and so all of a sudden you're having to compete with those people just to get your own ranking for your own name. So maybe if that's the case, you need to work a little bit harder on your ranking for your name. And number 5 is the big one for me. And this is, once you've decided on what keywords you'd like to target, you do actually need to use those across your website. And not just once, you need to use them consistently in a number of places to get a reasonable ranking. So let's just quickly look at a search result on the next slide. Can you change that slide, Charles? Thanks. So this is the Google search results. At the top, you get the AdWords results, which are the paid results. And these aren't always here, but sometimes they are. And if there's a lot of paid results, then generally it's going to be a fairly competitive phrase. So yeah, these are all exactly the same, except people pay to be here is the key difference. And then next is the location results. These don't always show up, but if you've searched for Cambridge accountants, like we have on this example, then you've got a map here and you've got the local accountants, which are based on the Cambridge area. There's a little pin on the map for each one. This result is interesting because you've got somebody called Judith Cambridge Limited. So it's not the town Cambridge, it's the name of the accountancy. So that makes it a little bit more complicated as well. And then below that is the organic or the regular search results. And this is the part that I'm particularly interested in. These are free to get listed in here. And this is very much a meritocracy. So Google promotes the sites that it thinks are most relevant to the phrase which has been searched for. So in this example, we searched for Cambridge accountant, and it's no surprise that the first result has got Cambridge accountants in the title as that blue text as the first part of the content. They've also got in that green URL, there's also cameaccountants.co.nz, so the word accountants is showing up in their URL. That's not an accident either. If you can use the phrase that you'd like to target, then in your URLs, that's going to give you an extra little bit of a bonus. And then the grey piece is called the snippet, and this is generally made from content on the page. So once again, if you're using these keywords across your page, then they're going to appear in this grey snippet, and that gives you an extra little bit of bonus. So once again, it's no accident that the sites that show up at the top of Google are using that phrase that was searched for in a bunch of different places across the page. So when you do your keyword research, I think it's worth spending a few moments just getting a group of ideas of phrases that you'd like to use across your website and knowing what you'd actually like to rank for. And then once you know what you'd like to rank for, you can make some changes, and then you can keep a track on that and see if you're actually improving over the course of weeks or months. So the place that most people start is the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. So you rock up to the AdWords site, you sign up for an account, which is free, and you'll get access to this keyword planning tool. You can either just get it to analyze your website and suggest some keywords. That's a great place to start. Or as we've done here, we've entered some phrases into the search box, and it's come back and giving us some data on it. So there was two things I wanted to show you on this screen. And the first one is Cambridge accountants versus Waikato accountants. And according to Google, this average monthly searches column here, Cambridge accountants is getting 10 to 100 per month, whereas Waikato accountants is getting none. So when you are analyzing a bunch of different phrases, try to pick ones which are getting a little bit of traffic coming through. This is not gospel. This is estimated data. There's a number of reasons why this could be incorrect, but it just gives you a ballpark idea of which phrases are worth chasing and which one go to all the trouble of getting a top ranking for what. And not getting any traffic out of it at the average being equal. You want to pick phrases that have got a little start with. It's loading. Do I just switch that one? No, sorry, back one.
To that one.
That one, thank you. So with this here, this is another list of phrases which have come out of the Keyword Planner. And so Cambridge accountants, accountancy firms, Cambridge, accounting online, find an accountant. Just some ideas that you can use when you're designing your content and optimizing your pages. So some of these will be relevant to what you do, some will be not relevant at all. And you've got ideas of average monthly searches. Give more weight to what's relevant. So I always say target phrases that describe exactly what you do. And don't just target the short ones. You want to target some of the longer, more meaty phrases. And that's what's called the long tail searching, which is one of the concepts I wanted to look into. So some ideas of bad ones is accountant. So somebody rocks up to Google and types in accountant. What's this person actually looking for? They're looking for an accountant, or are they looking to employ an accountant? They're looking to become an accountant. We don't really know what that person's looking for because their phrase is so broad, they're just not going to get good results out of Google when they go searching for that phrase. Likewise for bookkeeping or tax, what are these people actually looking for? It's just not clear at all. So on the good side, we have somebody who's looking for a Cambridge accountant. Okay, so that person probably wants an accountant in the Cambridge locality. Or tax accountant in Cambridge, that's even more specific. So if somebody searches for tax accountant in Cambridge, and it turns up at your website, and you happen to be an accountancy firm in Cambridge that does tax accounting, then you've got a really, really good chance of selling your services to this customer when they turn up. So by going for the more specific, longer phrases rather than the short, heavy-duty ones, you've got a better chance of actually selling your products to people, which is really, really important. That's what the whole game is all about. So don't be shy about phrases that have got 5 or 6 words in them. If they're bringing in a little bit of traffic, it's generally really, really targeted traffic. So, once again, the key is just relevancy, picking phrases that accurately describe what you do as a business. And with the locations, once again, Auckland is a bit broad. Somebody in Manukau doesn't necessarily feel like driving across to Waitakere to go to an accountant. So be more specific. It may come down to using Henderson accountant. So the local suburb rather than the greater area or the greater city. Somewhere which is a bit smaller like Nelson or Cambridge, you can get away with that. But even in Cambridge, maybe you go for Leamington accountant if somebody doesn't want to drive too far. That's a bit of a judgment call, and you're not going to get international data from Google's search results on Leamington or small suburbs in anywhere in New Zealand. But it may be just worth understanding what your customers are actually searching for in that respect. So here we go, moving on to the location-based and the maps. And so this is how we get yourself a happy little pin showing up on this little map here with hopefully a listing down here. So the key thing is to get your business verified. So if you go searching for your business name in Google, you'll quite often see the business show up on the right-hand side like this with this Rockets Buck example. And what you need to do is verify your business to say that you own it, and then you can get access to some statistics and have it show up in the Google local results. So it's fairly straightforward to do. And what it looks like when it's not verified is on the right-hand side, you've got this option where it says own this business ? And where that blue highlight is. And so if you turn up, you search for your business and it's not verified, then all you need to do is just make sure that it is verified. And that's a fairly straightforward process to go through and do that. Plenty of good quality content. So what Google is suggesting now is that about 1,000 words is a good place to start for web page content if you'd like to get a good ranking. And that gives the search engine algorithm enough depth to go through and find plenty of different word variations and give you a bit of a chance of a ranking for a bunch of phrases. So yes, it's looking at lots of different things, but the more text that you can have on your web page, the better. Now, this can conflict directly with a good, easy to use, nice looking web page. And so you absolutely have to balance that as well. You can't just have screeds of text and no design or a terrible design. You've got to have text which is broken up nicely with bullet points and paragraphs, headings, subheadings, pictures, major sections, all those good things which make a website look good is all super important here as well. But more text is going to give you more chances in the draw when it comes to search engine optimization. So the text needs to be written well. It needs to be rich in the key phrases and keywords that you want to rank for, which we'll cover shortly. And those phrases need to be used consistently. So there's certain places where you want to use those phrases for maximum effect. So ranking for your own business name, just try it. Go search for your business name and see what happens. If you're not getting the results that you want because your name is Henderson Accountants and there's a whole lot of accountants in the suburb called Henderson, then you may want to consider moving your name to the front of your title. So here we've got Rocket Spark at the front of our title. You may want to consider getting some AdWords for your own business name just to block out other people from getting them. Make sure you've verified your business. So that section on the right-hand side, make sure that you've gone through and done that as well. And if you also need to use your own business name on your website as well. There's another key thing that people often miss. So when you're talking about what you do, make sure you talk about Rocket Spark or whatever your business name is as you're talking about your products and services. Rocket Spark can help with designing a website, as opposed to we can help with designing a website. So if you're having trouble getting ranked for your own business name, then a good place to start is just to use your own business name at a lot more places. Once again, Google can't guess it, it needs to know. So using keywords multiple times on your page, it all starts with this title. So this first red box at the top here is the title, and this is what shows up in the Google search result in that blue text. So if you'd like to rank for Wanaka bookkeeping, as this example is here, then let's start by using Wanaka bookkeeping in our title. If we can have wanacabookkeeping.co.nz as our domain name, then that's an extra bonus. So that's not always something you'd want to do. Like I may choose to go canebookkeeping.co.nz, or I may choose to get both in this example. But if I choose Wanaka Bookkeeping, that's definitely going to give me a bonus when it comes to search engine results. And then again, further down, use it here in the main text if you can. Now, most web packages, such as RocketSpark is where this screen came from, but WordPress or Magento or whatever else it is that you're using, they'll give you the facility to edit titles on your pages. And so this is where you want to make sure that you are actually including your phrases in the titles. If they give you access to the meta description tag, then you'd like to be using that phrase in there also. So once again, it's consistency. Picking a phrase when you do your keyword research in the keyword planner, and then actually using that phrase in different places, so title and meta description. And then further down the page, this is the main content of a web page, which I whipped up this morning. So once again, we've got a big heading, so Wanaka Bookkeeping. So that's the phrase we're targeting, so we use that phrase in our big headings. We use it in our subheadings. Your business will run like clockwork of our Wanaka Bookkeeping services. So once again, we're just using that phrase and try to naturally fit it into some text. And then below that, we've got our paragraph text, where once again, we use that phrase again. It's possible to target 2 or 3 phrases per page if you want to spend a little bit more time on it. So you may choose to go for bookkeepers and Wanaka as a secondary phrase. And so you can start blending that into your sentences as well. Or we've got Wanaka Bookkeeping. You could go bookkeeping Wanaka. You could do variants of that and try to get this page ranked for a bunch of different phrases and get all the traffic that goes with it. So that's the guts of it. If you'd like to rank for a phrase, you need to identify that phrase and then actually use that phrase across your content in as many places as possible. And yeah, that's the guts of it. That's my 5 quick tips on how to optimize your content for Google.
Well, that's really fantastic. Thanks, Harvey. And I know a lot of people, and I'm sure you get the same question as, people that, not even sure what SEO, is, let alone how to optimize their site and to sort of go about doing it. But I think what you've shown there is, without too much difficulty, there's a few things that you can do right off the bat that don't require too much work, and I think do pay dividends. I think if you look at most websites and if you look at the Google Analytics, the majority of their traffic comes through organic search, which is obviously the best type because people have searched for a service or product that you provide, and then so has sort of self-selected. So when they come onto your site, they're much more likely to engage with what it is that you're offering, and hopefully then convert to a lead, and obviously in time maybe a customer or a client.
Exactly, and it's a great place to start. The organic search is free, so there's no reason not to be doing it, and it does flow on onto all your other different marketing activities that you do as well. So having a great organic result helps with everything else that you do.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, brilliant. And if obviously you'd like to find out a bit more what RocketSpark does, you can find them at rocketspark.com. They do websites, obviously in New Zealand, they've got clients all around the world as well. So for next week, we're looking at another topic which a lot of people ask about, which is how do I become known as an expert in my field? So how do I be seen as a thought leader in the accounting field, or maybe it's more specific, so for tax purposes, or maybe it's something to do with business planning. So how do you do that? And so next time we're exploring just quickly how some tips as to how you could do that. So if you haven't already registered, you can find a link to it on our homepage. That's bomamarketing.com, and that'll take you through to the registration page. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks for joining, and thanks again, Harvey, for taking us through SEO.
Yeah, thank you very much.